It's not a recurrence of the ankle injury he had last season as well that kept him out for a number of games, but we wish Daniel all the very best and hopefully he'll be back in this UBC lineup sooner rather than later. As the action gets underway here, UBC playing in their blue jerseys, playing from right to left in this first half. Fraser Valley Cascades in the all-white, playing from left to right. UBC coming into this one on the back of a 2-win and 1-loss record for the season. 6 points under their belts. 3-1 victory last night as well in a very entertaining game with Trinity Western. Looking to build on that, make it a 6-point weekend and make it 3 wins on the bounce as well. Victory Shambusho, Logan Chung and Daniel Kaiser all on the score sheet last night for UBC. Fisher playing the ball forward to Momatani. Lovely little lofted one for Shambusho to try and chase down. And the ball, I thought it was going to run out there. It was well kept in there by Chung. Lovely little bit of footwork there. Logan Chung very busy on the ball, but it's going to be it's going to be Fraser Valley that come away with this one. Still thinking I'm doing last night's game. And the first real shot in anger of the evening, coming from about 30 yards out there from Fraser Valley. Manpal Brar with that one. Fraser Valley Cascades coming into this one. Trevor Zanata on the score sheet for them in that one. 3 different goal scorers for Fraser Valley to start this campaign as well. 3 different players registering assists in their 3 goals. All 3 of their goals as well coming in the last half hour of matches as well. That was something I talked about in the first game of this evening with McHugh and Griffins being very much a second half team. Certainly seems to be the case so far for Fraser Valley. All 3 of their goals coming from the 62nd minute onwards. So even if they find themselves trailing or on level terms going into the last half hour of this one, don't change the channel, because this is a team that certainly fights to the end and knows how to get those late goals. UBC just happy to knock the ball about just now. Shambusho on the ball, powering forward. He's a very hard man to get off the ball at times, and wins a free kick for UBC. 25 yards out. Fraser Valley, who are putting a man on the far post as well, which is a sensible one, I think. He's now off that post as Gardner goes for goal and goes for that side and just flashes one over. Didn't have his usual directional shot there, but close call nonetheless. And Fraser Valley will try and bring this one out. Gardner trying to play a through ball there for Shambusho, but just has too much on that one, and that's going to run through to Jackson Cowkes. Cowkes with a long goal kick out, but it just bounces into the path of UBC, and they'll try and get something going up the right side with Logan Chung. Great trickery there from Chung to get that one going. Cuts inside, looks for the pass through, and he finds Jakowski, who kind of a cross-come shot there, but Cowkes out well to get that. Shambusho was waiting at the back post if he hadn't. Lively start from both sides to this one. You'd expect nothing more between these 2 teams. As I said, they are teams that go to battle and can produce some big high-scoring games as well, as the Cascades going forward there. Cut into the box there by Mikael Manella, one of the 3 goal scorers for. It's going to be a long throw-in from Manella here. Plays it deep into the box and takes an interesting bounce, and Brar goes down in the box there under some attention from Eric Lajeunesse. I thought he might have appealed a little bit more for that there, but nothing much to that one. Chung now with the ball and sent to the deck, but it's going to be a throw-in instead to the Cascades. Cascades head coach Tom Lowndes in his 8th season in charge of Fraser Valley. Mike Mosher in his 27th in charge of UBC. Cascades sending a long throw-in up their left, but it's picked up by UBC, and Lajeunesse is going to play this out wide to Momatani. Momatani showing that burst of pace that he's got, just to cut inside, drops the shoulder and turns inside. He's such a hard player to defend against. And the Cascades just try and clear this one away. It falls to Ivan Mejia. Player we saw a lot of during the League 1 BC season with the championship winning TSS Rovers. Has had a few looks from some CPL sides as well, but decided to go down the college route in his first season now with UFE. He'll be looking to impress, try and stand out, and maybe earn himself either a draft pick in the U Sports draft come January, or maybe a move to one of these CPL teams. As Chung now brings it forward. He's got acres of room ahead of him as well if he wants to run here. And a lovely through ball looking for Victory Bushel, but that's just going to run through to Jackson Cowkes. Fraser Valley will just knock this one around. Although the Cascades are coming into this one with a 1-2 record, it's 3 goals for, 3 goals against, so it's been close games. It's not that they've been having a super hard time at all. Fisher, long ball there, finding Momatani, brings it down well. Touch inside to Jakowski. UBC content to do what they do best and just knock it about and play the patience game. Marcus Kaiser telling his teammates to kind of push a bit forward though, to give some more options to get the ball forward. It comes to Jakowski now, but Cascade's foot knocks that one out. It's going to be a throw in to UBC, about 20 from Kaiser there, but tracked by Mejia, so Momatani not given the ball there. Does need some movement here, and he ends up playing it to Jakowski, but foot there knocks it away from Delane Panditha. And a long range effort there from UBC, just doesn't miss by much. I feel a lot of the game tonight is going to be played in the middle of the park, and it's maybe going to be who wins this midfield battles that's going to come away from this. A couple of final scores just to give you from this afternoon's action around Canada West. Alberta and McEwen played out a 1-1 draw. Calgary got the better of Saskatchewan 3-2 as the ball comes in here looking for Momatani at the back post. And Mount Royal, big 5-0 winners over Lethbridge as well in the early games. 2 other games tonight aside from this one. Victoria hosting Trinity Western. Thompson Rivers hosting UNBC. We'll give you some score updates during this as well. Although I am having a little bit of trouble getting my stats pages to work on Canada West tonight, so just bear with me with that one. It's going to be a throw into Fraser Valley deep inside their own half here. Chung looking to try and find the through ball, but has to play it out wide instead. Ball comes back through now, and it's going to be Fraser Valley that come away with this one. Mahia, touching a turn. Tries to play it forward there, looking for Manella. But easily scooped up by UBC, and they're going to start a break themselves up the left-hand side here. Momatani, long ball forward to Shambusho. I thought he was just offside there, but the flag stays down. Shambusho holds off his man well, cuts inside, tries to get a shot off, and a lot of traffic ahead of him, and it was blocked there. But that's how dangerous Victory Shambusho is. 3 goals on the season, leading this team just now, 3 goals and 1 assist. 7 different goal scorers for UBC through their first 3 matches. 6 different players, all with an assist as well. So a lot of danger throughout this UBC side. Thunderbird certainly looking the more dangerous of the 2 sides through the first 13 minutes here. It's a throw into Fraser Valley, and it's going to be another long throw coming in here from Minella. Finds the Cascades head, but UBC managed to clear it, and Chung is going to play this wide to get this one brought out, and it tries to play another long ball through to Shambusho there, but finds a Cascades foot in the way. Shambusho now. Out wide, UBC moving the ball very well in this early going here. Chung was looking to see if he had the touch inside, instead gets sent crashing to the ground. It's going to be another free kick for UBC, 30 yards out of the Cascades. Gardner standing over this one as you would expect. A lot of movement in the Cascades box as Gardner flicks this one in. He was trying to find the head of Chris Fisher, who acrobatically went to the ground to try and meet that one, but it's cleared by Fraser Valley. UBC keeping the pressure on though. Gardner lofting it over again, looking to try and get Fisher on the end of it, but meeting a Cascades head instead. They're getting closer, UBC. Eric Lajeunesse now. Back to Momatani. He's going to play a long ball into the box now, and again the Cascades managed to get this one clear. It's a long range rifle in the end there that Mihai Hodut just flashed at one. So far coming from UBC. Fraser Valley holding firm though. As Cowkes plays a long ball forward, but Kaiser just brings it back down for UBC, and they're going to launch another attack here. Momatani with a deft little touch inside to Jakowski, plays it back to Kaiser. It has too much on that, and that's now going to give the Cascades a chance to break. Mahia takes a touch inside, keeps hold of the ball, still Mahia. Plays it out to Brar, who kind of goes for a cross-come shot, and that's got McKay scrambling. He has to tip that one over, Manpal Brar. It's going to be the first corner of the evening to Fraser Valley. Didn't have a lot of height on that one, and Mahia's going to want to get that one back as it just got flicked into the arms of McKay, who sends Chung going very quickly here. And was Chung against 2 defenders, and the defenders won the day in that one, but UBC keeping the danger on as Jakowski has it now. He's got a wide open man in Hodut to his right, and he finds him. Hodut, some step overs in the box, fires a shot in, and this time it's a big save by Cowkes that tips this one over. This game's starting to really warm. UBC with the corner, not going with the favoured routine of playing in the players in the 6-yard box, crowding the keepers so far in this one. That's been more players at the back of the box, and they're going to win. Second corner of the evening coming in quick succession. Gardner sends this one in. Brar heads this one away though, and that's going to be a throw in instead to UBC. They're going to keep the danger on though in the final third here. Chung collects the throw in there from Hodut. Ball comes back to Gardner, plays it into the box, but it's only Cascade players in the way, and now it's played up to Mejia. He holds the ball up so well, and have enjoyed watching him play the last year or so with FC Tigers in the Fraser Valley Soccer League, and then with TSS Rovers in League 1 BC over the summer, as Cascades come away with that. Brar trying another long-range shot, this time straight down the throat of McKay, and he easily collects that to his chest. Brar certainly been the lively player. For the Cascades, another player that was on the TSS roster for the League 1 BC season. Didn't feature overly much for the Rovers. Quite a number of these Cascade players actually did play on the Rovers squad for this League 1 BC campaign. Momitani looking for the ball through to someone. He tries to play it through to Jakowski. It takes an unfortunate bounce for Fraser Valley, but they do well to recover there, and Jakowski couldn't end up getting onto that one. And they're going to bring it out themselves now and switch it up to the left. La Jeunesse now plays it out to Momitani. Back to La Jeunesse, the rookie coming to UBC from the Whitecaps. Spoke to Mike Mosher about him last night, and he's delighted to land Eric La Jeunesse to what is already a very solid defensive unit that UBC have. Very impressive for the Whitecaps as he's moved through the academy ranks and has a very good League 1B season for the Whitecaps under-19 team. Know a few players or a few people that were casting their votes in the League 1 BC best of team of the season had La Jeunesse in there in the defensive unit. Gardner sending one in the box, looking for the head of Victory Shambucho, instead just finding ahead of Fraser Valley instead, and they're going to be bringing this one out again, although a little bit of confusion there, but they do manage to get it out, only as far though as Marcus Kaiser. Fisher now plays it to Chung. Chung looking for that through ball again. This time it just didn't come off towards Hodut. And Brar's got a chance to break for the Cascades. He's got Mejia powering up to his right if he wants to use him, and he does. Mejia still on the ball there. Back to Brar. Takes a touch and turn inside. Lovely little deft flick inside there, but an unfortunate bounce, and it takes it away into the path of UBC. But a poor clearance there by Eric La Jeunesse. Brar trying to play in Minella there. But UBC going to come out of it as we're midway through the first half of this one. Still scoreless here at Thunderbird Stadium. UBC enjoyed the better of the possession, but both teams have certainly had their chances to open the scoring. Both keepers. Thank you for joining us wherever you're watching this one on Canada West TV. If you want to get in touch with us during the broadcast, as always, you can get in touch on Twitter at AFTN Canada. If you're not on Twitter, you can also send an email to aftncanada@hotmail.com. Chung on the ball, forced to go back. This back three from UBC like to move the ball around that back. If you've watched many or any UBC games over last season and this back three has been the favoured option for Mike Mosher, and they do like to just play it along that back line until they can try and see an opportunity to get either a through ball or find some space on the pitch. Fisher plays a long one forward there, but just finds the head of Panditha, and it's going to be Brar again on the ball. He's been so lively and in the thick of the action for the Cascades in the early going here. Plays it forward to Mainella, but again just can't find his man as Mejia closes down. Like a bull in a china shop sometimes, Ivan Mejia hustle when he really closes players down very, very quickly. Jakowski won that, but a heavy touch almost played UBC into danger as the ball was going back to Brar, but Gardner in a deep line playmaker role this evening for UBC. On the ball just now, expect him to drop back in front of the back three a lot tonight. Marcus Kaiser now to Chung, doing what Chung does so well and just dancing past his opponent. It's a nice little turn. It's Chung to Kaiser, plays a delicate through ball there, looking for Shambusho, just had a little bit too much on it, and it runs through to Jackson Cowkes and the Cascades goal. Hasn't quite caught fire yet. As Mejia strokes it out to the left for the Cascades. They seem to have favoured their wings, both wings, fairly evenly so far in this one. As the ball punted up to Jakowski. Now Kaiser bringing this forward. Finds Chung. Back to Kaiser. He's got Momotani to his left. He finds Momotani now. Kaiser sends one in looking for the head of Jakowski. Instead it finds the foot of Jakowski, who sticks it out and directs it straight to Jackson Cowkes there. Thought he was trying to get a bit more height on that, Kaiser, and he didn't get it, but still found Jakowski. Just his foot, not his head. I'm sure that will register as a shot for UBC. That will take them up to 7 for the evening. Fraser Valley sitting on 5 right now. Shambusho now on the ball in the box. Takes a touch, but unfortunately just slips in the process, and that's going to allow the Cascades to bring this one out. Very even first half so far. It's been quite end to end without really having too much goal mouth action. Both defences holding quite firm. As I mentioned, Fraser Valley, although they've coming into this with a 1-2 record, it's 3 goals for, 3 goals against, so it's been very tight games that they've been involved in this season. And the way that the playoffs shape up this year as well, it's like every point is a prisoner for these teams right now. I think, are we going after this free kick is taken? Sidhu sent that free kick forward, but it's UBC that's going to be coming away with it. Little touch knocks it out for a throw-in. Kaiser plays it to Holdut, who's up that right wing. Player that's returned to the UBC fold after sitting out last season. Was a very key player for Varsity FC, UBC's League 1 BC side over the summer season. First season with Fraser Valley. There's a lot of first year students on this team. And I think it was Taylor Richardson that came on as the other sub. It certainly looked like him on the sideline waiting to come on. Didn't see who went up in the box. Chris Fisher trying to break himself free to try and get on the end of this one. Instead it's Richardson's head that just meets that and sends it away, but Unfortunate falling over there for the Cascades allows Chung to whip this one in, but this one just is going to be easily handled there by Jackson Cowkes. Plays it very deep here for to chase down.
Also subbed into the game at 26, Mateo Brasina. For number 19, Manpaul Brar.
It was Manpaul Brar that went off for the Cascades. So both the front players going out for Tom Lowndes' side. Brar was being the most effective player. I mean, it's obviously a planned substitution, the two forwards for the two forwards, but I'd have found a way for keeping him on out there to finish off this half, because he's caused the most danger, I feel, for the Cascades so far. Taylor Richardson, though, we saw him play for TSS Rovers over the summer. So he's certainly going to be a threat to this UBC backline that they'll be keeping a close eye on. La Jeunesse now, a short pass to Kaiser, who has to play it back because he was under a lot of pressure very quickly from Mahia, and UBC living a little bit dangerously at the back with these short passes, because Fraser Valley certainly on the up and closing everything down super quickly there as Panditha tries to play that one into the box to Brasina. It's going to be UBC that come away with it. Fisher, long ball forward, heavy touch by Chung, but managed to get picked up by Jakowski. Forced to play it back though to Herlicker. Fisher, long ball forward, flicked on by Jakowski for Shambusha to try and chase down. Put Barrett under a little bit of pressure there, who forced to play it back to Cowkes, but Cowkes more than a match for that. Panditha now. Long ball forward, looking for Brasina. Cleared by UBC, and now Chung's going to get a chance to get something going. Plays it out to Momatani. Momatani cuts inside, drops that shoulder and shows that pace that we've seen so many times so far in a UBC jersey. Shambusho plays it to Jakowski, a heavy touch from the big man, and also a clumsy challenge as well. I know it's super early in the season to be looking ahead at playoffs and everything like that, but there's a couple of interesting little twists to the playoff situation in Canada West this year. Thomson Rivers are hosting the U Sport Nationals in November, so that means Canada West is only going to have one available spot in the final 8 at the U Sport Nationals. So it's only going to be the Canada West champions that do advance to that. Unless Thomson Rivers also win that, then it will be the beaten semi-finalist that goes through. So that really creates a lot of pressure on these teams, and Canada West is going to be hosting the Final Four for their championship in the highest placed Pacific seed this season. The women's going to be in the highest placed Prairie Division seed. So right now Thomson Rivers could be hosting both the Canada West finals and the U Sport Nationals if things keep up. They've got 12 points from their 5 games played so far and a 4-1 record. In the early standings, they've only played 3 games so far, UBC, but they're currently sitting in 4th. Fraser Valley in 6th. As a wild shot with very little direction there comes in from Mihai Hodut. So Fraser Valley, I always like to look at the table and look at the playoff situation. Always get ahead of myself. End up asking the coaches about it. Did speak to Mike Mosher about it last night after the win at Trinity Western, because the way that things are shaping up, I mean, who knows? It could be a battle between Trinity Western and UBC, maybe Thomson Rivers as well, for hosting the Canada West thing. UBC went down to an early loss to Thomson Rivers, but Trinity Western then beat Thomson Rivers at home. UBC then beat Trinity Western, so that kind of levels things up in that regard. But Mike Mosher very much aware of how important it is to get every single point that they can on the board. That's why he's going to be looking for 3 tonight at home against Fraser Valley. Will not be happy just to sit. Unlike the wood recycling facility nearby that was on fire all day and caused a lot of smoke and smoky conditions for the women's match earlier at UBC. There is an air advisory in effect throughout the lower mainland tier. as Taylor Richardson's going to have a long throw here for the Cascades. Deep in the UBC half, sends a really inviting ball into the box there, but a UBC foot gets that away, and it's going to be another throw in for the Cascades. Richardson, another deep one in the box. This time though just finds the foot of Eric Lajeunesse, and he's going to knock it out for a corner now for the Cascades. Are they going to have more success with the corner than they did with those two long throws? Taken quickly and didn't really come to much. That's a bit of a disappointing corner for them, but ball getting played back in. Touch and a turn there, nearly tries to set something up, but UBC doing well to close down any danger. Comes back to Richardson now. Touch back to Mejia. Mejia runs into the box but runs out of room, and Momitani with a very important foot in there to knock that away. It's going to be another corner. Mejia is going to send this one in. Oh, he gets a lot of welly on that, and he goes deep to the back of the box. Headed over though, and it all comes to nothing instead for UBC. Sorry, for UFE. Gardner now bringing it out for UBC. Jakowski, nice little touch and turn. Plays it back through. Shambusho picks it up. He's got players around him, but he's fighting to try and break his way through there, but it's going to be the Cascades that come away with it. Shambusho though wins it back, pokes it away. Now it gets played through to Jakowski. Nice turn from the big man. Can he get a shot off? No, he's closed down well there at the back there by Sidhu. And the danger cleared there by Panditha. And Lajeunesse will just play it back to Bennett McKay, and the UBC goal as we enter the last 5 minutes of the first half. Thunderbirds with the long ball forward there, but as has been the story of the night so far, so many of these balls just ending up on a Fraser Valley head. Kaiser tries to play it back there to Hodu, and Hodu just overstretches and gives away a foul, and that's going to give the long ball forward. Brezina does well to bring it down. He wins another corner here for the Cascades. They've turned it up a notch in the players bunched at the back of the box. Richardson on the move though as Mejia sends this one in. Can they draw something up from the TSS playbook perhaps? Those two players connected a couple of times over the season, but it's a UBC foot and it's a foot raise now. Shambusho's trying to chase that one down, but Cowkes was well out of his goal and easily dealt with that, but can only kick it into touch, and UBC quick to get on with this as Chung takes the throw in here. Herlika into Shambusho. He looks up, tried to play a crossfield ball there to Momitani, but instead just finds a Cascades foot. Cascades bring it away. Oh, played forward to Brezina there, but just overstretching and just got away from him there. I have to say, the substitution of Richardson and Brezina certainly added a little bit of spark to the attack. Keeping my eye on this battle between Chris Fisher and Taylor Richardson here. Fisher, nice little push off there, and the ball just goes over his head. It bounces about in the box, and it's going to get brought out instead by the Cascades. But well won back there by Eric Lajeunesse, who fires a shot and appeals for handball and does win the free kick. And this is right, the match winner. And Cowkes giving up a lot of room to his right here. The top left corner gaping here for Fisher if he can get it over the wall. Instead he goes for the right and just flashes that one past the right post. Cowkes left. Usual to see centre-backs have the kind of fleet of foot that someone like Chris Fisher has, and just have the skill for these free kick situations. But I've seen him take and score a couple of fantastic free kicks now for UBC and VUFC Hibernian, and even Varsity FC as well. He was on free kick duty for them a couple of times in the League One, because both teams feel that they just need a little bit of a spark. The booking confirmed there to Nicholas Barrett. I feel that was a very harsh one, I've got to say. Will that play into things? You don't want one of your defenders on an early booking like that when you've got players that can run at him and maybe force him into a missed error. Oh, and the correction's now gone. It's actually number 22, Sahib Sadhu. They've just confirmed, picked up the booking for that one. Either way, you don't want your centre-back to be in the position where you've got players running at him on a yellow card. And there indeed does go the half. There's been those chances peppering a game where a lot of the last 15-20 minutes of it did feel it was in a little bit of a lull. It was maybe needing somebody to stamp their authority in the middle of the park, put their foot on the ball, or just take the game by the scruff of the neck, really. So we'll see if anyone is able to do that.
And subbed in for UBC Thunderbirds in the game number 12, Tristan Ngohi. For number 9, Victory Shabusha. Also in the game number 26, Asvin Chowan. For number 19, Sebastian Dukowski.
Couple of substitutions for UBC at halftime. Coming on, we've got Tristan Ngohi and Ashvin Chauhan. Going off is Victory Shambusho. Trying to remember who the other person was that went off. We'll come back to that one. For the Cascades, coming back on is number 17, Bagveer Sidhu, taking up a role here on the left-hand side. Sebastian Jakowski is the other player that went off, as well as Victory Shambusho. Tristan Ngohi, very talented player. We saw a lot of him last season for UBC. Spoke a little bit about that in the broadcast last night. He really stepped up for them as ball played in there by Chauhan, but it's cleared, and Mahea's got a chance to bring this forward now for the Cascades. Takes a look up and a long ball forward to Richardson. Just gets to the head of Herlica though, and UBC will come away with that now. Yeah, with all the injuries that UBC had last season, it was needing some players to really step up, and the man that did that was Tristan Ngohi. 7 goals and 1 assist from his 17 regular season appearances for the other, taken over from Sebastian Jakowski. Ashvin Chauhan, who's come on for Victory Shambusho as well, and unless there's been an injury, I'm pretty sure we will see Shambusho back on the pitch before the end of this one. Did put in a good shift last night as well, but Chauhan's had a good start to the season, looked lively when he's come on, got 1 goal to his name so far. I know, speaking to Mike Mosher after the game last night, he's been very pleased with a few of the guys that stepped up and did name check Chauhan as one of those players. Your Thunderbirds news, reaction and everything else on gothunderbirds.ca. Nice little back heel there from Hodut, straight into the path of Chung. Cuts inside, plays it to Tommy Gardner, who lined up to have a shot there but had traffic ahead of him. Had to play it out to Momatani instead, who still keeps hold of the ball there. Under some pressure there from Rangi, but great work there by Momatani, and Gardner trying to dance his way through the Cascades defence there and just ended up giving the ball away, but UBC's going to get a corner, sorry, a throw-in. Mid this one, you can do so on Twitter at AFT in Canada, or shoot us an email, aftincanada@hotmail.com. It's a Cascades break now, but Holdut doing very well to get back to mop that one up. And Kaiser's going to bring this one out. Plays it inside to Gardner. Back out to Holdut. And Ngohi now. Forced to play it back to Herlica. Has to turn and go back himself to Chris Fisher. Tommy Gardner out. I spoke about this game needs somebody to take it by the scruff of the neck, and Tommy Gardner is certainly one of those players that can do that. For the Cascades, Ivan Mejia there, that's just trying to close down Tommy Gardner. You feel he could be the man that could certainly do that for Fraser Valley. He was quite lively in the opening half of the first half, kind of fell out a little bit in the second half of that first half, but then so did a lot of these players, it has to be said. It wasn't, as I described it, exactly a burner. It was just waiting for somebody to try and catch fire. It was coming to life with those two chances in the 17th and 18th minute, and then just kind of dipped again really for the last 15 or 20. Longer it remains scoreless as well, it's going to turn into a cagey affair here. It's a long ball forward here for Ngohi to try and chase down. He does well to bring it down, but fouls in the process, and it's going to be a free kick to the Cascades. That one. Cascades fans in attendance here trying to lift their side. It's UBC that's in the attack. They've done most of the running so far to start this second period. As the ball comes deep to the back to Hodut, runs out of room though and just carries that over the byline. It's going to be a goal kick for Fraser Valley. He carried that one over. Linesman agrees. Just give you a couple other scores from around the grounds tonight. Thompson Rivers, the Canada West leaders right now, continuing their fine start to the season. Came into tonight 4-1-0. Looks like they're going to be going to 5-1-0. They're 2-0 up at the moment against UNBC Timberwolves. Over on the island as well, I see this as a little bit of a shocker. I fancy Trinity Western in this one, but they're trailing the UVic Vikes 1-0 in that one. Still a long way to go in it though. Javier Sagast getting that Victoria Vikes goal. Ryan Lewis and Elijah DeSantis the goal scorer in the 53rd minute. Gardner trying to poke that forward to Ngohi, but just finding a lot of traffic in the way. Oh, and that was a very, very heavy challenge here. It's going to be interesting to see. UBC will be hoping he can run that one off. But it's a free kick now to UBC just inside the Cascades half. Fisher now didn't quite get the weight on that and put Lajeunesse under a little bit of pressure, but he recovers well to Hodut, who plays it up the right wing here to Ngohi, and he manages to keep that in. A great ball across the box there, but the Cascades clear the danger. Great stuff there from Tristan Ngohi and from Mihai Hodut, who wins the ball back. Delicious ball into the box there, onto the head of Logan Chung, who doesn't seem any worse for wear after that crunching tackle, and wins. All their goals came at the start of the first half and start of the second. By this stage of the second half last night, they had 3 goals on the board as Gardner sends this one in. Ball comes back to Gardner, takes a touch inside. Richardson with a challenge on him there, and Chung sends one in now, and it's bouncing about the box, and it's in the back of the net. UBC's opening the score in, and it's Logan Chung that. UBC just kept the pressure on there. A couple of corners won as the ball runs out, and they're going to get a chance to keep this on again. Mike Moshes, what was big spells of just not a lot happening in that first half, and they've certainly
And the
done
first
that
goal
so
being
far to start the
scored
second,
by
but they
your
can't rest on their laurels at all. They really need to push on now and try and get a second on the board.
Goal coming in the 56th minute of play.
As I mentioned,
With the
all of
assist,
Fraser
number
Valley's
20,
goals so far have come in the
Thunderbird.
second half of matches,
And
so
goal scorer number
they
20,
certainly hold a goal
Logan
scoring threat till late
Shaw.
on in these games. Chung again looking lively. He got on the score sheet last night as well. Second of the season now for Logan Chung. Seems to like to start second halves with goals. Got the ball exactly where they want it just now, just deep in the Cascades half. And for Tom Lowndes' side, they need to try and find something to turn the tide here, because they've really been under the cosh to start this second period. Ball just bouncing about, looking for someone to bring it down. It's going to be the Cascades now that try and get away with it from Mahia, but he's forced to go back. And Gohi now. Chung, who's been everywhere to start this second half. Left wing, right wing, in the middle when it mattered to fire the ball home. Certainly in the running for man of the match. Long ball forward there for the Cascades, and looks like pure Tom Lowndes is not going to be wanting to make a forced substitution when they're chasing the game. If I was the Cascades head coach, though, I would try and find a way to bring Manpal Brar back on, because he was so good for Fraser Valley in the opening 20-25 minutes before the substitution. If he was going to send this dangerous in-swinger in towards the back post for someone like Ngohi maybe to attack. And it does run through to Ngohi at the back post. Fisher just missed it with a header. And Ngohi was waiting to pounce, but the Cascade, as UBC doing what they do so well at these corner kicks and just crowd the 6-yard box and the keeper. And it's a curler that causes a lot of confusion, but a good header out there by, I think it was Sidhu that got his head on that. But it was. But UBC trying to keep the pressure on now. Great bit of footwork in the box there, and it's played into Fisher, who's still up there, and he's appealing that came off a Cascades player, but not getting anything for it. But a nice little bit of trickery there from Momotani to set that chance up. And Gohi now powering forward for UBC. Ball play back to Nick Fussell. Just come on the pitch and he finds the back of the net. He comes on for the goal scorer. He becomes the from inside the box. Great play from Nick Fussell. Long road ahead now in these last 27 minutes for Fraser Valley to try and get back into this one. UBC sensing blood now, and it's a much different UBC side in this second half to the first half. Your proverbial game of two halves here from them.
Second goal of the game for your UBC Thunderbirds. That goal coming in the 63rd minute of play with the assist, number 26, Asvin Chauhan.
Second assist of the night as well for Asvin Chauhan. What an impact he's had since coming on at half time. It's the subs that's combined for that one. When you're a sub, that's what you want to do. Come on the pitch, show that you're a difference maker, earn yourself a start in the next game. And I think all the guys that's come on at half-time and in the second half have done that for UBC so far, as they keep the pressure now on, looking to try and get a third. Third surely would put the game to bed for them. Fraser Valley just long ball forward. They've not really tested Bennett McKay or this UBC defence at all in the early going of this second half. Very much in it in up to half time, and as I mentioned, had led with shots on goal actually over UBC. Had a couple of interesting chances. Brar having one tipped over by Bennett. UBC get another throw in out on the far side of the pitch here as we look on. No one able to bring the ball down, but finally it's going to be getting brought out by the Cascades. Rangi tried to bring it out, but the press from UBC forcing the Cascades back, and the ball's going to go all the way back now to Jackson Cowkes. He's just going to kick a long one forward to the head of Richardson, trying to flick that on. Have to try and use his height if they're going to be doing that to full effect. Mejia, who's really battled away all night for the Cascades so far. Bring you those as soon as we work out exactly who they are. Certainly Tom Lowndes needs to do something to freshen up this team, because they're second best at everything right now.
Substitution for Fraser Valley in the 66th minute of play. Into the game, number 19, Matt Falvarar. Number 26, Mateo Brazina. Also subbed in number 9, Parmier Goulart. For number 6, Trevor Zanata. And the final sub of the game, 21, Mikhail Manella. For number 8, Taylor Richardson.
Two players that came off for them, Manpal Brar and Mikhail Manella, coming on now, and they did link up well in that first half. And if there's any hope of Fraser Valley getting back into this one, you feel it's going to come from one of those two. Third goal surely would kill it for UBC, but if Kinnan, that's going to set up a very interesting last 20 odd minutes as we're midway through the second half here at Thunderbird Stadium. UBC 2 goals to the good after another early second half blitz, following on from the blitz that they had last night against Trinity Western. Hold it now, looking for the cross-field pass, trying to find Shohan. It was a tough ask for the Cascades to find space and break down a very dogged UBC backline in the first half, but now that they're 2 goals down and UBC's playing with all this confidence, it's even tougher for them. There's a little flick on there from Ngohi to Shohan. He's got Fussell in the middle if he wants, but plays it back to Ngohi, who takes a touch just a little bit too heavy. Ends up coming though off Carson Mutter, and it's going to Tommy Gardner now. Going to send another one of his great deliveries. It's deep into the box, looking for the head of Ngohi, but it's cleared by the Cascades. Only as far as Shohan now, who tries to chip that one into the box, and again the Cascades get it clear. Not too far though, just to the edge of the box, and UBC keeping the pressure on now. Gardner to Eric Lajeunesse. He's got very far forward in this second half. Number of occasions he's stayed up after the set piece opportunities and nearly dances his way through there. Great stuff from the centre back. Talked about the good footwork from Chris Fisher in the first half. Certainly something having called UBC games since 2017 and watched their matches since 2011. Certainly a characteristic of Mike Mosher's sides. He likes those ball-playing centre-backs. And he's had them in abundance over the years here at Thunderbird Stadium. It's always been a joy to watch those guys. You think of some guys from the past like Riley Pang. UBC happy to knock the ball about here. Just try and find the breakthrough and then maybe get it here. Shohan shows a bit of flash of skill in Gohi. Nice little touch out to the edge of the box, and it's another goal. And it's another goal for Nick Fussell. His set IQ, the football IQ there shown by Tristan and Gohi, not to try a shot at goal, play the ball out to Nick Fussell at the edge of the box, and he buries a low one past Jackson Cowkes into the bottom left-hand corner. UBC 3 goals to the good here.
Third goal of the game scored by your UBC Thunderbirds. That goal coming in the 71st minute of play with the assist number 12, Tristan Ngoe. And your goal scorer number 25, Nick Fussell.
Tom Lowndes is going to be really wanting to see how his team react now to go into this. He doesn't want to see their heads go down. He wants to see them fight to the end, try and take something from this. As I mentioned, it's although they have had 2 defeats against them this season, all their games have been close-knit affairs. This is the first one that's kind of got away from them a little bit. Would be comfortably dealing with this team right now. You saw it last night with Trinity Western when this UBC side just puts their foot on the gas and turns the pressure up a little bit. They get the rewards for that. And you're going to know that they're just going to want to put a few more on the board here. Get a bit of a confidence booster before long trip next weekend out to Calgary. They've got a couple of games against Mount Royal on Saturday and the University of Calgary Dinos on Sunday. And wanting a goal tonight. He's having a fair little tussle there with Sadu. Manages to push himself off, and it's just over the head of both Fisher and Ngohi in the end into the arms of Cowkes, and the Cascades will bring this up the left hand side. They're still fighting, they're still trying to get back into this one. Mahia now. UBC's done well to keep him quiet. Nice little bit of footwork there from the sub-Sadu, but ends up getting his pocket picked, and Gardner coming away with it. He's got Fussell out to his right. He finds Fussell. He could do with some more options in the box. This one comes in. It's headed not clear though by Sadu, and it's bouncing about. It's brought down by Momatani. Still Momatani manages to play it back there. As Shohan tried to dance his way through this defence. Possibly Tyler Sayers coming on. I think it's number 24. And Gohi finding a way through. He's got no one in his box. He's going to have to do it all himself and ends up just running this one out.
Substitution for the Cascades in the 75th minute of play. And then the game number 24, Tyler Sayers for number 18, Ivan Mejias-Yepes.
UBC winning all the battles. I'd been looking for someone really to kind of stamp their authority in the middle of the park. That still hasn't really happened in this game, but instead it's been Nick Fussell that's done well coming on out wide, and UBC's done well in controlling both wings in the second half, and that's where they've really thrived. As Fussell on a hat-trick tries an audacious attempt there, and it just flies wildly over. Long kick forward by Cokes now. It would be a long road back for Fraser Valley, but all starts just with a 1 goal, and they haven't looked even likely to trouble the scorers just now, it has to be said. Mike Mosher, I'm sure, will be very happy with this second half performance. We'll just put the first half performance down to it is what it is, I'm pretty sure. Check out gothunderbirds.ca after the game for post-game reaction, match report. Multitasking tonight, doing the match report and doing the commentary on this. I'll speak to Mike Mosher after the game, get his thoughts on this, so we'll have that up on the site. As UBC win a free kick, just nothing going Fraser Valley's way just now, just not getting the breaks at all. Certainly been a tough couple of games for them over in Victoria last night. That's always going to drain you. Ferry over, ferry back, long days, having to come and play an in-form UBC side that's now looking to make it 3 wins on the bounce, move to a 3-1 record. Still 2-0 out in the Okanagan. Thompson Rivers leading UNBC. And UVic Vikes running rampant over Trinity Western tonight. 3-0 now to the Vikes. Certainly been a good weekend for them. A 6-point haul for UVic. Nick Park and a deep in the UBC half for Fraser Valley Cascades. It's a long one into the box and in go. He just gets his foot on it. It's a case of just kick it anywhere and try and see if Shohan can run onto it and bring it down. But they did win a corner from, or a throw in from that, so I'm pretty sure that the ball exactly where UBC want it for these closing minutes, deep in the Cascades. Time off the clock here as well. Sure, some of it will get added on at the end, but I'm also pretty sure that the Cascades are just going to be wanting the final whistle to come at this point. As Shohan again shows some great footwork in the box. He has been a pleasure to watch so far this season. The sub was not ready for it, which I'm surprised that the referee's been so lenient, and now he's got the game back underway. Ball back to McKay. Sprays it out to the left-hand side, and UBC will come forward again with Momatani. He's got Shohan ahead of him if he wants him. Little give and go there between Momatani and Shohan. What a handful they are on the left-hand side for any team. Look at Momatani here, just dancing through this Cascades defence. Deserved something from that effort. That would have been a highlight reel goal if he'd managed to put that one away. It's Shohan now. What can he do with it? Well won there by Marcus Kaiser. Under the pressure from Sayers. Momatani out to Shohan now. Shohan this time dancing through the defence and fires a shot off that just goes wide. Cascades just trying to get something going, just nothing at all is coming off for them.
Into the game, number 20, Marcus Gualash.
Fussell, nice little chip forward for Momitani, who's switched sides now. He's up the right hand side, goes down in the box. Referee waving that away. He was definitely clipped as he went into the box there. Referee feels there was nothing in that and he went to ground too early, but we don't have the benefits of replay up here in the booth, but I would like to see that. Fussell with a little chicken tit and go he, and a great stop there from Cowkes. What a fantastic little chip forward that was from by Fussell, and then Gohi did well to keep himself on side and get that shot off. Cowkes a match for it though. UBC not letting up here. Want to put some more goals on the board, get some confidence under their belt. Tough opening season loss to Thomson Rivers Wolfpack, but as I've said in the broadcasts, there's not many teams going to go to Kamloops and come away with anything, so a 2-0 loss isn't the end of the world. Certainly going to be a tough place to go for U Sports Nationals. Thomson Rivers hosting again, second time in recent memory as well. Won the bronze medal the last time they hosted. I was about to say Fraser Valley though still pushing to the end, and that's going to be good to see, but the ball just intercepted there by Mihai Hodut, who's powering forward here up the right wing. He's certainly had a good game. He's still going, Hodut, and he wins a corner for UBC as well. We saw a lot of, in fact it doesn't win the corner, and little bounce back and hit Hodut and gone out. But we saw a lot of that from Mihai Hodut in the League 1 BC season for varsity. Gardner now. This has certainly been more like the UBC we come to expect in this second half. A great performance here as Momitani tries one and crashes that one off the bar. That's a absolutely fantastic one. That was Shohan with the effort there. That would have been a goal worthy of sealing a fine victory for UBC. Shohan and Momitani, since they've come on, Momitani's been on from the start, but Shohan, since he came on, when they were both on the same side, the link-up play between them, I mean, that's going to be... Nicholas Momitani making way now as well. Brandon Momitani coming on, first year student. One Momitani for another. As we're in the dying seconds of regulation here, can UBC add a cherry to the top of the cake and get a fourth goal? They've come close in these closing minutes, it has to be.
The official decision is in. There will be a minimum of 3 minutes added time.
3 minutes time getting added on here, and Fraser Valley's really failed to mount anything at all. That's a ball into the hands of Benny McKay from the head of his own defender there. I think it was Marcus Kaiser that got his head on that. Might actually have been Noah Herdlicka. Either way, UBC are bringing the ball up the pitch. Hold it now. Powering forward yet again. He's still got energy in his tank. And just runs a little bit too far there from Nick Fussell. Doesn't look like it's going to be a hat-trick there for the former Whitecaps Academy player. I'm sure he'll be delighted with the 2 goals that he did get tonight though. Momitani heads that one on, but it's picked up by the Cascades. Can they get some kind of consolation for this game? I mean, their first half performance, you would never have thought it was going to be a 3-0 scoreline by the end of it. It was a very even first half. It looked like that at half time. The game was very much